Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. This video is inspired by the Paper Outpost. The lady's name is Pam, and she also has a Facebook group called the Paper Outpost FB or Facebook group. Now, I'm a little bit late in coming to this particular party, but I've just sort of been distracted by all sorts of things, and this was one of them that got me really and truly intrigued and working so really well. And I would like to show you what it is. Yes, it's book paper. Whatever sort of book paper you have. This happened to be some of the yellow paper that I'd showed you in one of my other projects, and I think I did this one the right way around, thank goodness. Now what it is, a piece of paper, let me get you something here. Have I got anything big enough? Oh, this will do nicely. This is one I had already folded up and I haven't covered yet. Oh dear, I'm going to have to do that. What I've done is taken a piece of paper out of another book. It's out of an atlas and tour guide book. And using the book paper, I have covered one side of this. For example, I've glued that there, then another piece up here and another piece over there, and I've collaged the printed paper on top of this paper so that it makes it, one, stronger, two, something more to look at, because there's nothing worse than just sort of saying, yep, no, that's it, that's a folder, done. Okay, no, not when Pam's around. And I've taken it one step further. Not only have I glued the papers on the back, or sort of all over the pouch, but I've also gone and used some of my graphics, pictures out of books and atlases and stuff like that, and I've already told these particular envelopes what they're going to be. This one is Australian cutouts, historical objects and buildings, so that's an object. And inside I have put some of my other bits and pieces that I will be using throughout journals and cards and all sorts of things. And as you can see, I've categorized them, being a little bit OCD, and I've also, why is that not going in properly? Pop it in the back there. Okay. I've also told myself what this is. This is a basket star of the Crinoides species on coral, and the coral is sea lilies. So that's a little bit of interest for me when I'm looking for some things that, if I want to do a series of cards like I did with my other Australian cards, well, I've got that there, and then I can just look up a little bit of information, put that inside the cards. So that's number one. Number two is Australian cutouts scenery, and I've tried to put a piece of picture on the front that shows scenery of Australia, and this one happens to be the Adelaide Festival Centre, and it's the home of our South Australian Theatre that was built in 1973. We've had a couple of these forecourt changes, but not many, and we're undergoing another one at the moment. And that's some of our beautiful ocean scenery, and you get a little bit of reading up there as well, so that I can see that that is Perth as dusk descends. So there you go. And in this one I've also got cutouts, and that is Sydney in 1892. Far cry from Sydney now. Sydney is so bustling and so tall. Last time I was in Sydney was in the 1970s, and even then I could hardly see the skyline. It was that busy with skyrise. What are they called? Skyscrapers. Oh gosh, having a moment again. Okay, just flick through these quickly. There's Australian cutouts, flora and fauna, and here is part of our Parliament House in Adelaide with our constable on patrol. He's there, or not him in particular, but there is always a policeman on duty outside of Parliament House to stop any nonsense that could go on. I've left this part blank. I didn't think it necessary to cover the back of the pouch, but it really is quite simple. As you saw, a piece of paper folded up, leave a little bit of a gap between the edge of this fold and the of the edge of the packet and top of the fold, and just fold it down. You can close it off with a little magnet if you want to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to probably make a little box that these can sit into on one of my shelves or something like that, so that I can just quickly know that all of that is my cutout stuff there. So, what did I say this one was? Flora and fauna. Of course, birds and flowers, or other animals and flowers. Oh, an Australian outback ranch. That's kind of good. Cattle mustering. And little koala. And a couple of little birds, and I don't know what sort they are, sorry. That one's potluck. And then there is historical people. This one is really, really full, and I think I've got more that are taller than this. Now, Sir James Stirling was a Scottish naval officer and colonial administrator, and he was the first governor and commander-in-chief of Western Australia. And there's all these other folks in here that I can work with and make for cards and all sorts of stuff. So I'm well set up for Australiana gear, which is really, really wonderful to have. And this one I haven't titled yet because it hasn't got an actual property to go or anything to go in it yet. I'm still working on cutting things out from books. But you can see the age of the book, a 1960s book to a 1970s. Just 10 years, and it makes a world of difference to the not so much the quality, yes, the quality actually, because this paper is rather brittle. I had to be very careful when I was making these little pouches with that paper, because it had a tendency to crack as I bent it, so I had to be very careful with that. And then I ran out of paper, out of that particular book paper. I actually have used an entire book of that yellow paper, so I'm quite pleased with myself. So I thought, okay, let's use a children's book, and I've got a Enid Blyton storybook, and I literally just paper pieced this because I'd already taken stuff out. So I've paper pieced all over the envelope and then put some of the pictures from the envelope on the folder to strengthen it. And once again, that one hasn't got anything in it. And this one also hasn't got anything in it. A simpler and easier way to finish these off is just to put something simple on it. I've done just a little piece of picture there and two pieces of crochet lace cloth that I ran across my what was it? Walnut stain. I literally put those pieces onto the stain, stamped this up and down on it a couple of times and turned them to that darker brown rather than an off-white. I wanted them to stand out a little more. They weren't standing out very well here. They sort of camouflaged themselves into it. So I thought, right, I'm going to put something prettier. And there's nothing in there. I didn't have quite enough of the text on this particular sheet, so got some of the picture there as well. Okay, so that is my lovely project. Many thanks to Paper Post, or Pam at Paper Outpost. And I had an absolute wonderful time doing these. As you see, I've got one still cut out to do, so that might be this afternoon's project while I'm watching a show or something, or other while I'm having lunch. Actually, not while I'm having lunch, because I might get lunch all over my project. That would be no good. That would be horrible. Okay, on that thought, lunch all over your projects. Live life to the fullest and enjoy it, folks. Bye.